Alright.
Are we live?
We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
1 second. Bam!
Now we're live.
Streets up, boys. We accomplished something great today. And we're recording this late as fuck.
It is pretty late.
It is. It's like
It's 10:30.
10:30.
Yes. We hiked about like a bazillion miles today.
It's not actually a bazillion. A bazillion is
Felt like a bazillion.
did feel like a
Yeah,
bazillion.
felt like a
Bazillion is a.
Well, the actual hike was like 6.4
Yeah.
It was a lot.
round trip. But
Mhm.
there was a bunch of foothills and other things we explored.
Why is it called foothills?
Because you use your feet to climb the hill.
Because it's little side paths.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our podcast. Fuck it, let's start a podcast. A little bit low energy today, being that again is this late in the night.
It's gonna be a calm one.
It's gonna be a calm one. As always, I am with my main boy, Triz.
What's up?
I'm not your main boy.
Nah.
You're the secondary main boy.
Wow. Okay. See you later, guys.
We're here with the voice of last week's podcast, Moonman, aka Josh. It's actually Josh, aka Moonman, but we're just gonna stick with Moonman.
Yeah.
This is our very, very first episode of what we are gonna call the rabbit hole, where we really just don't know what we're gonna talk about or where the conversation is gonna go. We're just gonna talk until we get bored of talking, or probably today until we get tired. So like we had a walk today or a hike, and we kind of talked about some of the stuff that we felt during that hike. But I don't know about you. It was truly a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt
Literally. The
literally.
air was very crisp.
Isn't that crazy how different it is when you go from like a city to like a nature area?
It feels like it circulates through your body a lot better. You know, the air.
I don't know. I was feeling. I feel a little bit low because of my inner. The hike was kind of hard for me. Not gonna lie. Because like I was breathing through my. I was trying to breathe through my nose, but then I couldn't breathe through my nose. I was like. I was huffing and puffing. I did not know how Sacagawea did.
Yeah.
Or Lewis and Clark, for that matter.
How did they like move, like whole like all their luggage and stuff like that?
Lewis and Clark has their luggage.
Yeah.
Well, not luggage. They were obviously on an expedition.
Yeah.
They're obviously on an expedition, so they had shit to carry with.
They had those
Carry.
caravan things or whatever, I think.
The wagons.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
bringing the wagons up there.
I don't think.
Well, maybe.
Well,
You know what they probably did?
What?
They probably had campsite, and then they explored, and then they had to come back, and then they just
But
found a way around a different way.
Lewis and Clark went out to see the West. Sit by Thomas Jefferson and
To
do their best.
I don't know anything about these people.
No.
I don't know Sacagawea. I don't know Lewis
You don't know
and
who
Clark.
Sacagawea is?
I've heard the name, but I don't know what she's famous for. Isn't she like on one of the dollar bills or something?
There's no woman on the dollar bill.
Or-
First and foremost.
That's
Maybe it's like
Abe.
one of the coins.
that's Abe, right?
Or no, the
No, he's
dollar
on the
coin.
five.
Isn't she on the dollar coin?
I don't know.
Sacagawea?
We don't.
Or no, that's Susan B. Cole.
Anthony?
Yeah, the breast cancer one. Sacagawea is on one of the
What the
currencies,
fuck
bro.
are
I
you
don't
talking
remember which
about?
one. Sacagawea is on one of the. I think Sacagawea is on one of the currencies.
Wait, who is Sacagawea? Because I was thinking of Pocahontas.
Oh
Okay,
my
hold
god.
on. We need to back up.
Let's start over.
Okay, was Sacagawea? No, Pocahontas was in the Disney movie.
Yeah, but Pocahontas, they made the movie Pocahontas based off of the person, right?
Based on Sacagawea. Unless
No.
Pocahontas is a real person.
Who the fuck is Pocahontas?
I don't know who Pocahontas or Sacagawea is.
Oh,
And they're probably two very different people, and we're kind of like cultural appropriating. Probably not alike at all.
One thing to go back, like how I think about, we were kind of talking about it, but like in Vietnam, people were like, there weren't trails that they were hiking through. They were just bushwhacking it.
Machetes.
Forest,
Just,
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Watching out for spike traps.
Yeah.
And dealing with mosquitoes and snakes and what's
Just
the
wildlife.
what's the top predator in Vietnam? What do you guys think? I'd probably think maybe like a tiger.
Charlie.
Tigers.
Probably.
Who's
it's
Charlie?
something-
Charlie. That's what the Viet Congs were.
Oh.
Yeah, they were the Charlie.
No, I never heard that. I wonder if Vietnam has like tigers and stuff or like gorillas.
I think they do.
Well, it's in
India
the
does.
jungle, so I mean.
Yeah.
India has tigers and stuff.
Yeah.
I would take on a tiger.
You think so?
I'm sure they have
would.
some sort of breed of tiger, and then, I mean, the gunfire probably scared most wildlife away. So
Yeah. The little bitches. That's
they were the soldiers were just fighting the terrain.
You guys ever seen the movie The Interview?
Yeah.
When they had to go outside and get that thing and that tiger showed up?
Oh, the dude shoved it up his butt.
Yeah.
He's
He's like, dude, it's a fucking tiger.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie. Equally a great movie. You and I watched Sausage Party together.
We did. We saw that in theaters.
Yeah, we saw it in theaters.
That was
like right when we turned 18 too.
yeah. That was it was an interesting one.
Uh-huh.
The whole theater went silent by the end. There was
At
like,
the orgy part.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part. Yeah.
I think Eddie and I saw that one.
Did you?
Yeah,
Do you remember when the whole theater went silent at the end of the movie? Did that happen for you too?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of it was weird.
We got off topic.
It was a weird feeling.
It was a weird feeling. It was a very weird feeling. It was funny how like all the food were having orgies.
It was funny at the start, and then it's just like,
It
okay,
was-
how long is this gonna go?
it was a very long
Oh, yeah.
orgy.
It was a very cinematic scene.
Yeah, they put like a lot of their budget into that food orgy, and you had to start thinking just like, who cleared this? Who in Hollywood was like, this is okay? The best part about it was they had like, when you went to go see the movie, they had emphasis that this is not a kids movie
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because it was an animated adult
it
movie.
was
They made it very known.
rated R, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
They had a giant douche as a character.
Nick Kroll does sound like a fucking douche. It's like you think about a douche, you think of Nick Kroll. His voice, at least.
I don't know what Nick Kroll is. Do
He's
you?
a big mouth guy.
Yeah, he's the big mouth guy.
If you've
Oh,
seen Big Mouth.
I have seen Big Mouth, but like I don't know what
He
he looks
voices
like or
him.
anything. He
I'm a
voices
fucking douche.
Wait,
That
does
part
he
with-
voice like all of them? If not,
He voices
most
some of them.
Yeah,
A lot of them, yeah. He's from the show The League.
I didn't see that show
I
either.
haven't seen that one.
It's based in Chicago. It's really funny. It's about these high school best friends, and they have a fantasy football league.
Mhm.
And it's just like the shit that they go through for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a guy in the show called Taco, and Taco, the funniest part of the show for me, number one, the funniest part was Nick Kroll. He's a lawyer, and he didn't. He got really drunk, so he got his car towed to his house, and he just sat in the back of the car drinking more beer.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got 5 of these. I'm gonna use all 5 of them, and why not just use that as my way back home?
Exactly. The one way to solve your alcohol problem is with more alcohol.
No, that's literally. That's how the Uber started. Uber, the founder of Uber, I think in an interview, he's like, I like drinking, but I can't get another DUI. I always pay my friends to pick me up, so why not just make this a thing?
Exactly.
And then bam, Uber fucking exploded.
You know, you ever think about how when you're just kind of shit talking with your friends and you guys come up with random ideas, how many of those random ideas could actually go somewhere if we really tried?
Like our tinfoil
The
hats.
tinfoil hat.
Exactly.
Tinfoil. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting a company. It's called Woodridge. I think
It's
I like
called
Woodridge.
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 I could go with
Because
it.
we can't call it Tin Man because no one's going to buy it. Something
Yeah.
called Tin Man. But for all you skeptics and non-believers out there,
Conspiracy nuts.
no, they're not nuts. They are the sane ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They are the
Exactly.
sane ones.
Yeah, exactly.
For all those people, we are designing clothes that has a liner of tinfoil.
To block out the 5G waves. of
Fashionable.
course.
Yep.
Let me preface this by saying that I very much believe in UFOs, and I'm sitting next to
In Atlantis.
not Atlantis.
You literally said that in
I
a
did
song.
say Atlantis.
You
No,
said Atlantis.
You said Atlantis.
You said an underwater intelligent civilization.
I said
That means Atlantis.
No,
That-
Atlant-
what else does that mean? What else does that
It
mean?
does. It may not be like Atlantis specifically. It could just be like another underwater. Like maybe it's something that we don't really understand.
We spent in the car ride to get here It was about 2 hours of Tristan talking about aliens.
Because well, this is where the whole tinfoil thing came from. Because they have those videos of all these UFOs coming from the water and stuff and doing stuff in the water. So I said it's possible that maybe there's an
videos that
underwater
are in
civilization.
2K. What even is 2K?
Here we go. Did you not hear the pilot say that the instruments are advanced?
The pilot was at 20,000 feet.
Yeah,
Look,
20,000,
yeah.
and then the pill-shaped UFO was like at
You
the
can
surface
see
of
a
the water.
car at 20,000 feet.
Bro.
You can for sure see a car at 20,000
Bro.
feet. Clear skies, no clouds. You can see a car at 20,000 feet. Come on.
Bro, don't tell me what I can see at 20,000 feet.
You can see a car at 20,000. I'm
No,
not
you
trying to hear
can't.
that. You can for sure see a
No,
car
you
at 20,000
No, you
feet.
can't. No, you can't.
All right.
No, you can't.
UFOs are real.
But again, I would not be shocked. I'll be more shocked if I find out that they're not real than if they are real. But until someone films it on a GoPro, just give me a GoPro or a fucking iPhone for all I care.
The military did come out and, you know,
It was black and white,
that was infrared.
so I don't give a fuck. It was still, you can't see
It's the same
shit.
thing.
You can't see shit.
It's not built for like high quality resolution.
Bro,
It's
I
built
can
for
go-
tracking things.
I can go on Amazon and get something better
That's
for
okay. Does that camera show you things in infrared?
Probably. I can go on Amazon and get an infrared camera.
Okay,
and
is
at
that
least
going
I'll-
to be a high resolution camera?
That's not high resolution. It had like four. You can see the
Because it's an
pixels.
infrared
You can
camera.
see the
That's supposed to be
pixels.
It's
high
an
def.
infrared
Oh.
camera.
For this argument, I do agree with Tristan.
If you buy an infrared camera, it's not going to be high resolution. If
I
you
can
buy a
buy
high
an
resolution
inf-
camera, it's
I
not
can-
going to be an
I
infrared.
can buy an infrared camera better than that video.
You
Guaranteed.
cap.
Guaranteed.
Cap.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Show me.
I mean, our
Yeah,
budget's
pull it
not
up.
that
Pull it
big.
up. Pull it
Yeah.
up.
Budget is not
Yeah,
that big.
buy it and show me. I'll believe it when I see it. Until then, aliens are real, and lizard people run the government.
I wouldn't be shocked by that.
Yeah.
Glad we agree.
There has been some
Yeah.
weird videos about, you know,
You won
presidents
me
and stuff
there.
like that, yeah.
What's that one island that all the rich people go? Not Epstein's island, but
The island of all rich people.
There's probably a lot of those, to be honest.
no, it was like this one retreat. Who's that one guy who yells all the time? He said,
Alex Jones.
"Yeah, I was listening to a
Oh.
podcast with Alex Jones."
Yeah.
One, I don't like the guy. I'm not an Alex Jones fan.
He's an entertainer.
He
That's
was.
what he is.
God,
So.
I was listening to the podcast and I was like, "Shut up, shut up!" Like, what are you talking about right now?
You lose track of what he's even talking about.
huh.
He goes on so many different tangents. You're just like, okay, what? He starts talking about new world orders and, you know,
Frogs make you gay.
yeah,
Something's turning the frogs gay, yeah.
5G. He's all over the place.
I never really listened to a podcast of his, just of the memes.
I've listened to a couple, not because I actually like listening to Alex Jones, but more just because he's an entertainer. So, and he also had Kanye on not too long ago, and that was a whole
Really?
thing. Yeah,
Did you have Kanye on?
he did have
How do you
Kanye on.
feel about Kanye?
Oh man. I think Kanye needs to be more careful with his words.
Well, yeah.
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 I'll leave it at that.
We all have opinions that may or may not be socially acceptable, and
Intrusive thoughts.
yeah,
Agreed.
exactly. So, and most of the time we don't say them unless we're with close, friends or relatives or
I don't
whatever
think,
it may be. So,
yeah, I don't think that Kanye really has an understanding of how his words affect people. So when he says the things that he says, he's not really realizing that there's certain groups of people that are taking those words and using them as fuel for their own agenda, and those agendas aren't good. He's not understanding that part of it. He's just saying things that,
Or those agendas are good.
careful.
I went there.
Be
I went
very
there.
careful.
I went there.
Uh,
I went.
Elaborate.
he's just playing devil's advocate.
It's
For
funny.
everybody watching it, he's just playing devil's advocate. He's not.
I have no idea what Kanye says. That's out of pocket.
He says a lot of.
The main thing that I know that was out of pocket was the Jewish thing,
I was gonna say.
where he agrees with Hitler and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh wow, he said that.
He said Hitler's not a bad man, stuff like that.
He said he loves Hitler.
Well, Henry Ford liked Hitler, and we still drive his cars around.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
wow.
literally photos like of Hitler and Henry Ford like smoking cigars and stuff.
Okay, this is actually one of the things that I can say about This is actually one of the things I could say about Kanye is like, I don't think that you could really take what it is that he's saying and just disregard everything else that Kanye has ever done. You know, he has one really bad opinion that we all disagree with, but you have to look at him holistically. And I mean, it's not like he didn't make good music. You know, it's the same thing with Henry Ford, where like
And R. Kelly.
And R. Kelly and Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson.
You know, there's more to him than just a singular opinion. Like they're a whole person.
But if you're talking R. Kelly and Michael Jackson, there's actions.
Allegedly with Michael Jackson. Allegedly.
Well,
R. Kelly did it.
Yeah.
R. Kelly
admits that he did it. No shame in it.
You guys remember the R. Kelly defense in the Boondocks?
Yeah, it was like one of the first episodes, wasn't it?
No, I think it was first season.
Yeah.
But
I remember a little bit about it.
It's funny. I watched it sometimes.
Is that where there's just like somebody in the audience just brought like a boombox playing the music?
Oh.
Is that the scene you're talking about? Yeah.
I completely cut you off. I saw an opportunity to mention R. Kelly and I went for it. You want to beer me? They're behind you.
Oh, I don't know. You can get that.
Pardon me, folks. Sorry.
Right the shot.
Yep. Sorry. Don't look at the wagon. How do you keep up with all this stuff?
Keep up with what stuff?
Like
Here.
Like
these
well, like
events.
Kanye stuff. Like, are you into pop culture?
A little bit. I'm not the most informed on pop culture, but yeah, I like to know what's going on in culture. You know,
Is social media a big news outlet for you?
no, I actually don't use social media too much.
Oh.
I just listen to a lot of podcasts, and in those podcasts, they'll reference different things that are going on inside of the culture. And then when I listen to several different people talk about one thing, then I start to formulate my own opinions about them.
Oh, as a smart man does.
Right, but you know what's crazy is I just signed up for Substack, which is
What at?
Yeah,
independent journalism. I don't really have a place where I get mainstream news, and that's not good. I feel like we all need a place where we get things that are going on in the world. Where, for instance, this is another thing that I've heard on a podcast. But when Elon took over Twitter, he released all the Twitter files about what Twitter was doing before he took over the company. Do you guys know anything about that?
No.
Right. You know,
I
why don't we know something about that? Because Twitter is a very important.
What benefit is this information going to use?
Yeah.
Because Twitter.
Where the fuck did they even release it? Like, what website do you go to?
Well,
Did they release it on Twitter?
Well, they're not. Mainstream news media isn't really talking about this, but there's independent journalists who are. And the reason why it's important is because Twitter is the #1 form of communication for people all across the world at the moment. You know, but like, and you know, who's running that platform and how is it being run is a very important question to ask. But like, we don't hear anything about it. We're so blind to it. And the same thing goes with like climate change, AI, genetic engineering. There's a lot of serious problems that are going on in society that we don't know anything about because no one's talking about them. There's people that are going to be able to modify DNA and choose what they want their baby to be like and
That's
look
already
like.
possible.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
and if we don't have any knowledge about it,
Do you vote?
I do.
Do you vote?
I do vote.
Do you vote?
Do you vote?
Do you look into like who you're voting for, or do you just check a box?
Like presidency voting or like
All elections are important elections.
Okay.
Do you vote?
I do vote.
I do
Yeah.
vote for.
Do you research every candidate?
I can't say that
No.
I do. No,
It's like you're clearly passionate about this.
I'm not as passionate about politics.
Well,
I more voted because
But it's
other
like-
people.
No,
told me to
I'm
vote.
not. I'm trying to use this as an analogy.
Okay, yep,
You're clearly passionate about what you're talking about. Your voice is higher than normal.
Go ahead.
I don't know. The thing that I struggle with, right, especially with this whole Twitter thing, I do agree. Everyone needs to know like some form of news, like what's going on around the world, especially since we live in this like such a connected world right now. But how is what the fuck Twitter's doing going to affect me? And like, where do you get that information? Yeah, Twitter released these documents.
But where?
Released it to who?
Well, Twitter didn't release these documents. Elon, after he took over Twitter, released the documents that detail.
Where?
How do you access these files?
I don't know exactly how you access them because I haven't accessed the actual files myself, but I know that there's journalists who are reading the files and then reporting on the files.
How the fuck are they getting it?
Because they're available. Like, it's public information to get the files
So
now.
I can Google
Yes.
Elon Musk.
You could go on the internet and find the files.
And then what am I looking for in those files?
Well, it depends on if you're a journalist. Like, what is that journalist looking for in those files? The files are pretty much just describing what Twitter was doing before Elon took over the company. And one of the things I know has come out is that everyone knows that there's bots on Twitter, but there's a lot more bots than what Twitter was claiming were on the platform. They also claimed that when it came to the presidential election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump,
DT?
yeah, there was information about. You guys remember the whole Hunter Biden laptop story at all?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear anything about that?
Suspicious activities that he was doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything about that?
No.
Okay, well, number one, that's very important. Why wouldn't we know about that? We're talking about mainstream politics. Like,
That's talking about like getting into his personal laptop and hacking whatever files, and that's
it had something to do with like something going on in Ukraine or something. Honestly, like, I'm not too well informed on it either.
Yeah.
But it's weird how something so important is something that we're not knowledgeable about at all. But point being is that when that information was coming out, I think Twitter was blocking a lot of those journalistic. When people were trying to report on it, Twitter was blocking those things.
What were you talking about in the car?
aliens.
No.
That.
It might have been before. It was either before or after the aliens, but censorship.
Mm.
See, right now you're saying
Oh yeah.
anti-censorship.
No, I'm not saying anti-censorship, but again, when it comes to censorship, who has control over what information is being censored?
So now you currently disagree with who has control of the information being censored, and you want someone else to have the power of this whole censorship thing.
Not necessarily. I think that information being censored drastically affected the way that we looked at the election, and from what it appears, it turns out that information is true. Whatever the Hunter Biden laptop thing was, a lot of that information was true, but it was being censored by Twitter, so we couldn't see it, which affected the outcome of the election. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't disagree.
Right. So that's problematic. That's why Elon released the files, is because that could be problematic to the democracy.
The censorship could be problematic to the democracy.
Yeah.
Therefore, we should forego all forms of censorship.
All forms.
All forms.
Explain. What about child porn?
They want to look at child porn?
I mean,
That's
not censored right now on Twitter.
Well, I mean, like...
Well, I don't know about child porn, but regular porn is not censored at all.
Pause! Run that back!
I'm saying regular porn is not censored on Twitter. You just scrolling through and you'll see some ass, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I was just in public.
It's like those people who, you brought child porn to this.
Yeah.
Those people who, like those very far right, crazy, wackadoo people. You ban them from an account. Then they go create their own account, and then you put fuel to their own fire because now their voice has meaning.
You're saying
I
they
just don't agree with
create fake accounts and
No, not fake accounts. It's like Donald Trump got banned from was it Twitter or Facebook?
everything.
Both.
Well,
Yeah.
everything.
And like everyone who follows Donald Trump, and Donald Trump says like, see, they know I'm right. That's why they took me off this platform.
Mhm.
Now that has meaning. There's people who believe like, hey, you're right. That is out of pocket. So what's the point of banning them if you just? I think every voice has to have a place to be heard. Because if not, you're just gonna be surrounded by more like minded people.
Yeah, I also think there was people saying wilder things than what Trump was saying.
Yeah.
God,
It's just that Trump had a huge following and huge platform.
Well, he was also the president of the United
He was
States.
also the president too, but
I was watching this. There's this one YouTube channel. It's called Pop and Culture or something like that. But it was about Donald Trump and why people loved him. Well, it was about misogyny and why people like Donald. white people adore Donald Trump so much, even though like he's a very known misogynist. And what the creator of the video was saying was how everyone knows he's a misogynist, but in pop culture today, misogyny is kind of like played down. You look at shows, and there's always, typically, writers always add one type of misogynist into the mix, but it's all playful. The audience knows that his words don't have meaning. And once something does happen, they're like, oh, it really meant no harm. And then on top of that, Donald Trump is an entertainer as well. He's always has been.
Mhm.
So people expect that out of him. They
True.
expect him to say some out of pocket stuff. Although that's why he gets away with saying things like,
Look at my African American over there.
well, yeah. You expect that out of Donald Trump. You would not expect it out of, let's just say, Obama. If Obama says something like that, you'd be like, oh shit, Obama, you wow. Like, we all know misogyny is bad. That's like a horrible issue in our culture right now. But Trump was an entertainer. I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't agree with him.
It was entertaining. It was funny.
It
was funny.
He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
Right. It's like every day you wake up and the world is in an uproar about something that Donald Trump has said on Twitter. It's like he wakes up and immediately picks up his phone and just tweets the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
He's like, I had a dream about Rosie O'Donnell the other day. It's like, oh my god, here he
I think
goes.
that's why he got, into being a president.
How the
His
fuck did he
wild-ass
even like
tweets and everything?
Why? Out of nowhere, like I didn't know who Donald Trump was. Well, I always knew who Donald Trump was, right? But out of nowhere, I just see he's trying to become president.
Yeah.
Like, where did that even come from?
I have no idea. I mean, he felt like he could do it. You know what's crazier is that he did it.
I was in Carlsbad, New Mexico, ferrying a flight back, a plane back to Peoria, and I was listening to AM radio because it was on, and I was like,
Oh, wow. AM radio.
right? I was like, let's see what's on the AM, and this talk show host was talking about like the upcoming election, and he was like, we can't figure out, for the longest time, we couldn't figure out where all these voters are coming from, all these Trump rallies. It's Tuesday, and still hundreds of thousands of people are showing to the Trump rallies. Like, they don't have work. Like, why aren't they at work? And then they figured out that it was the uneducated white people going to the Trump rallies. And he started going in. He's like, I'm an uneducated white man. I still know he's an idiot. These people just don't get it. If you're uneducated and white, you are more than likely going to be voting for Trump.
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off. I was like,
Jeez.
I find myself pretty moderate when it comes to politics too.
Yeah. I mean, I know like a lot of very smart people decide to vote for Trump, but it also seems like a lot of people who maybe aren't as smart or as intelligent, he really speaks to them for some reason.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, just driving through,
Yeah.
you see all these Trump signs or whatever.
It's crazy, like his fan base too. Like they're really dedicated to voting for him. Like
Yeah.
that's a level of voting for a president that I don't feel like we've ever seen. Like we passed a car with a giant Trump sticker on it. Like why are you so? How can you
Obsessed
love?
with
Yeah,
it.
it's like
So
I don't
obsessed.
understand why. Excuse me. I understand why out of nowhere people are flying Trump flags around. No one's flying Biden flags around.
Yeah.
Or who was it in the last election?
Are you talking about Obama?
No, it was like
Who was in
it
the
was
last
Trump
election?
versus
Oh, Trump.
Clinton, Hillary.
Oh yeah,
Hillary
Hillary
Clinton,
Clinton. Yeah.
No one was flying Hillary flags, but everyone
Yeah.
was flying Trump flags.
Yeah, I mean, you see like spray painting on the walls, like we saw about Trump and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like people really, you either paint him as the hero or the devil. So there's no in
Well,
between.
honestly, if you want to be in power, that's the perfect place to be.
Yeah,
See, you get loved or you get hate.
Yeah,
You'd rather be hated, right?
I guess.
Or loved. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been to that chapter yet.
It just seems like how can so many people have so many like strong opinions about just one person?
'Cause a lot of people don't have other shit to do in their lives.
That's a good point.
Gun control.
Who do you guys think should be president?
That's a big question.
Right now?
Yeah. I mean, our options right now suck. So, is there anyone that you
Would
guys-
we rather have a crazy guy or a 80-year-old?
I feel like there should be
Dementia.
a
Asian.
giant douche in a turret sandwich?
I honestly think there should be an age gap to this whole presidency thing.
Yeah. We need a max age.
I love my
after
grandma.
Biden for-
My grandma, she's like 83 years old. And I was watching her and I was like, Grandma, let me take care of you. But people that age are running this country? No!
Yeah.
No! Give me someone before their midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Someone progressive.
Right.
Not someone who has to take high blood pressure pills. And diabetes pills.
Yeah.
And
Well-
glucose pills.
Diabetes is different.
I don't give a fuck.
High pressure, sure. Diabetes is. I mean, you could have it right now.
I could.
So
I could.
exactly. But yeah, I do agree.
Age, like
Yeah.
50, 60.
When I think of
I have to retire as a pilot at 65. Let alone run a fucking
Oh, really?
country.
do you really? I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. At 65, they say you're too old to take this risk. But Biden right now, he can go and bring us to nuclear war.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
I really think a lot of Biden's people make a lot of decisions.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not making too many decisions.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking muppet.
He is. Yeah.
He's just there to show face.
He's probably in the Oval Office like, where's my oatmeal? Okay, Mr. Biden, calm down.
You said you wanted to invade Russia?
Sometimes just hearing him talk is like, it's rough.
When the fuck do you hear him talk?
I mean, so
Wait, I'm sorry. Josh, how into the news are you?
I went to the news. Really not too big into big mainstream media. CNN, Fox, obviously. Yeah.
How do you
Those
get
are
your
both
news
biased.
then?
How do you get my news? I mean, there are other news channels besides CNN and Fox. I do have social media, so I use that as well. Just whatever's on. Honestly, whatever my parents are watching,
Yeah.
then I'll just eat something, take a peek.
So past that is
Pretty much whatever I
Social
see on
media.
social media.
social media is like, oh, what's this?
Oh,
And it's
this
like,
is happening in the world. Okay.
I have something to bring up too. I brought it up in the car, but
Mhm.
how do you guys feel about deep fakes? Do you guys understand what deep fakes are?
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
It's messed up. Because
Like-
have you seen some of the images? Or are you deepfake? Are you talking about deepfakes being different from like AI imaging? Like
No, I guess it's kind of the same thing. I mean, you could scroll through your feed, come across a video of someone famous saying something like in a video, and it could be fake.
oh,
It could look real. It's the person and they're talking and it sounds like them because they used their words and fed it through an AI system and had them say whatever it is that the person wanted them to say, but it's fake.
I mean, sometimes, like right now, like sometimes you can tell just how the mouth is moving, but you have to really look at it.
Now,
Yeah.
but like in 5 years,
In 5 years, it might be pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
you know, like that's scary.
Yeah.
Especially if one goes viral.
And
that cause a lot of
like
problems.
AI imaging, like there's they make like people that don't exist, and they just make a completely like new person.
Ever think
The
about
only thing that you can tell like that's different is like the amount of teeth, or if there's a hand in the picture.
Mhm.
They for some reason like the AI can't understand that there's only 5 fingers in a hand, so there's like 6 fingers. So that's the only way you can tell.
you ever think about like how the government creates fake identities?
What do you mean?
What is it? Protective custody.
Oh, witness protection.
Yeah, witness protection. They can like just create a new identity, and like even if they go undercover, like if a cop goes undercover, and like I'm hardly on social media, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm a cop that got undercover. They're like, huh? How come you haven't posted a photo in 8 years? Bam! Shot right away.
Yeah.
Right.
But people do that like in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
We already live in a very, very fake world.
I listened to a CIA, CIA agent. He talked about how if you really wanted to, you could just disappear off the grid. And like he said, step one is to get rid of all your technology, obviously, and then like start moving around, disguising yourself, stuff like that. It's a lot easier than you would think it is to just disappear.
Could you? I don't know if he talked about it. Could you do that with like within a city, or would you have to move somewhere?
I feel like you can do it in a city.
You can do it in a city,
I
but
feel like that's harder.
It would be harder
because people can recognize you.
Yeah.
But still, like, how often do you go? You go to the same 5 places in every city.
We also have to think about the search radius too, you know, because like I mean, once you disappear, there's gonna be people looking for you, like whatever
how many
circles
people,
you're.
though?
Well, it depends. I mean, people who. So number one, your family, obviously.
Yeah.
Number two, like the pilot airline that you work, or the airline industry that you work for. There's gonna be some people there kind of looking for you.
I feel like they'll just be like, oh, just not another check.
And you know, friends, family, like if you're from Chicago or the suburbs of Chicago, there'll be a certain kind of search radius where people are out looking for you. There'll be posters out. You know, if you've seen this person, call this number. You know, stuff like that. You could maybe be spotted.
Well, let's think about New York, right? Say you live in like Manhattan.
Okay.
Like, I just want to go ghost. Yeah, there are going to be some people go to the other boroughs, but still, like the chances of you, like how often? I guess not really you guys, but in Pittsburgh alone, I've came across one of the girls I used to talk to. Just like me looking around.
Yeah.
That's also just you.
Wait,
there's multiple people.
No, I know. Pittsburgh's a relatively small city. Still, say like I just want to go ghost, right? At the end of the day, you're just another face in a big city like New York.
True.
We as humans, we have a lot of habits. We're habitual creatures. You go to the same 5 places. You can't go to those 5 places anymore, right? You have to be like, oh, I see so and so here. Sometimes you can't go here. You just keep working and working. And obviously, if you're not like be smart about it, but I feel like it's not necessarily. It's never been like a hard thing to do.
So would you only like keep a job for like a year, and then leave somewhere else and change identity?
Cash job.
Under the table.
Cash job.
Where are you gonna find a cash job? Like a real legitimate cash job. Everything's like online, direct deposit.
No.
I mean, you could get like
we have a lot
checks,
of illegal immigrants.
You can get checks, but that's more like
if you get checks, then you have to have a bank the deposit, or you have to go to a cash advance place.
You could also get involved in like illegal like underground stuff too. You know, not saying that I would do that. You could get tapped in pretty quickly. If you wanted to, you could get into like narcotics. You could get into selling weapons. There's a lot of underground stuff that happens.
You know, it's illegal. It's illegal to sell guns online without a permit, but it's not illegal to sell ammunition.
Really?
Yeah. Online. It's like there's this huge underground market for not underground market. It's just a market.
Yeah.
For selling, because like the price of ammo, like, I'm sorry. Ammo's becoming like a commodity right now, and you can buy a case at Bass Pro Shop, like a case of 9mm, for like $45. Let's just say, but since the demand is so high, you can flip it on the internet for like $100. The same case.
You guys been hearing about ghost guns at all?
Is that where you 3D print a gun?
Yeah. And it's untraceable. It has no serial number or anything.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, unless you create your own plan for that, aren't those like you can't get them. Like you can't get the
It's
3D blueprint or whatever.
You can download the blueprint off the internet.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, on the dark web, you can get the
Oh.
blueprint.
you can buy everything for a gun, but it's just it's like the charging mount.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, like what something that you. I don't know. I'm not even gonna
It's like
try.
a-
I don't
it's
know
like
what to talk about.
Yeah, it's a part where it's like has all the pressure. All the pressure's actually like there. Like I don't know what it's called. I'm not a gun guy.
Yeah. I don't, yeah, I
This is not my
can't either.
expertise at all.
Like they're just like they're having trouble finding that material.
There is like one or two pieces that you actually have to go to the store and buy, but the rest of the gun you
Yeah.
can just get assembled. Like
I think it's literally just one piece. It's just like that singular piece you have
Yeah.
to buy.
That's
But
dangerous.
what are your thoughts on ghost guns?
I don't know. When it comes to stuff like issues like this and some of the issues that I mentioned before, like genetic engineering and deepfakes, for me it's not really what it is. It's what it can be if we don't start giving it more attention. Because I mean, what if some person can create some sort of nuclear bomb in their garage or something by 3D printing a bunch of stuff together, and it's stuff like that that really concerns me. When it comes to genetic engineering, I'm not concerned about what the government's going to do with it or what the scientific communities are going to do with it. What I am concerned about is when that information gets out to the public and there's some wacko in his garage that's going to start doing genetic engineering stuff. And like, who the fuck knows what he's going to do? What are his plans?
How are you gonna solve all these problems that you have in your head?
No, I mean, I don't know if there's a solution, but it's more just making other people aware of these problems and maybe they come up with solutions, Like, these aren't really all my problems, but they are human beings, like humanity. They're our problems that we need to think about them,
Just create a network and
Yeah.
have other people.
And it all starts
Try to
with
help you.
it all starts with awareness and
Yeah.
just talking about it. Maybe someone else will hear it, and maybe it's their passion project in life. You just never know.
I try not to worry about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like worrying is just stress.
It's just-
I see stuff going on in the world. The blinds. I'm like, shit, that shit's crazy,
Yeah.
and I go back.
Just go back to your regular life.
No moment where
I have enough stress in my job, so I don't have to worry about nothing.
Right. I feel like, I guess I understand. Every vote everyone has will make a difference in this world and everything, right? But this is my world, right here. This is me. This is me. You guys are going out shooting, killing people, all that wackadoo stuff. I'm like, just don't bring that to me.
I
Then
feel
I'm
like
pretty
until
happy.
you experience one of those issues,
Then I
you're
care.
not. Then you, yeah, exactly.
Then I care. Yeah.
exactly.
But till then, I'm just like, it's like, you know how like the what is it called? What shit? This is horrible.
What is
Describe it.
The civil rights movement.
Okay.
The civil rights
Alright.
movement led to the like the gay rights movement
Okay.
Yeah.
at the same time, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But so these are two very important movements. Very, very important movements.
Yeah.
Civil rights,
Mhm.
gay rights. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Civil rights started, and then it became gay rights. My thought is, right, as a black male, I am without a doubt a black male. There could be one of you two. Could be gay. I want to know. You guys still minorities.
Yeah.
Because Tristan, you could be gay, but you're still a black male. I'm
Sure.
still getting my ass beat by the cop. But you could just stay in the closet and just like, it's like, I guess the whole point about this is, we're in the same fight, but we have different battles going on.
One's more identifiable than the
Yeah.
other. Like one you actually, and people say the same thing about when it comes to anti-Semitism, which is when you hate Jewish people, which is it's not immediately clear that someone is Jewish. You have to kind of talk to them and start asking them questions, and then you usually figure out that they're Jewish.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not with being black, it's very you see that we are black.
You're black!
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
I still care.
Yeah.
Because, like, the one thing, like...
Yeah, not saying that it's not an issue. Of course it's an issue.
It is an issue.
Yeah.
It is an issue. No matter what, it is an issue.
But it's a different
But
battle. Like
I'm just not fight. It's not my fight.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to pull me into the fight, I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the parade. I'll do the walk.
You ever been to a gay pride parade?
No, I've been to a couple gay bars. Very fun times.
Yeah.
They're
You're
extremely
lit, bro.
Yeah.
That whole community
Oh,
is lit.
bro! Oh my god!
I like to have fun. They party.
I went to a gay bar. I found out there was a gay bar. I left. Then came back to the gay bar because the bar I was at was not as fun as the gay bar.
Yeah.
That was the most fun bar I've ever been
Yeah.
to.
You know, I've only been to one gay bar, and it was a good time until somebody was getting grabby. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
it's time to go.
Isn't it weird just thinking about that? So like when I was at the gay bar,
Yeah, I
like
know, yeah.
I was talking to my friend, and I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to my friend right now. Stop talking to me. This is what girls feel like.
Yeah.
Just at the bar every single time. It was so fucking annoying, and I did not understand what it was like
Yeah.
until I went there.
Yeah.
The first time I went to a gay pride parade, I was in, I think, 9th grade. So like early
I thought
high
you
school.
said gay bar, and I was like ninth
Ninth
grade.
grade,
And
really?
I was like,
I went to
this
a
is a different conversation.
I went to a gay pride parade. It was with some friends. They wanted to go, and I have to say that my young innocent eyes have never looked at the world the same since going to that pride parade, because they were very that's what I'm looking for here.
Open,
Expressive.
expressive.
Yeah, you know, you got people. Some of them are holding condoms in their mouth. You know, it's very sexualized. I mean, that's just the community. There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
but I was just very young at the time, so it just like it made me look at the world differently after I saw that. Not in a bad way either. It just opened my eyes to a lot of things. That
Well, you can't look at the world in a bad way. I don't
Yeah.
think,
yeah,
because it's just the world. You have to accept it.
Yeah.
You have to accept it for what it is.
yeah,
A crazy place with everyone here is a wackadoo.
yeah. Everyone's a weirdo.
Everyone's weird.
Everyone's
If you
a
find
weirdo.
someone
in
who's
their
not a
own
weirdo,
in their own area.
if
Yeah.
you find someone who's not a weirdo,
Yeah.
he's the biggest weirdo there. You should wash your back.
Exactly. I was gonna say, if you think that someone's not a weirdo, get to know them a little bit. You'll get to it eventually.
I knew this one guy in Virginia. He was the nicest guy.
Oh, I guess.
The nicest
Yeah.
guy. But I started to get to know him. He scared me.
Scared you.
Like he was like, we were talking. He was like, yeah, I was mad.
He was
I was
smiling.
really
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
you know
shit.
when you look at someone, you can tell that they're just like piecing you apart,
Yeah.
piece by piece. You just know it. And I'm just like,
They can tell you're uncomfortable and they just keep going. See,
Mhm.
yeah.
Psychopaths are
see
real,
where it
man.
goes. See where it
Yeah.
goes.
Psychopaths, narcissists, sociopaths, they're real.
They hide in plain sight.
Plain sight. Plain sight. And like the best way to so a psychopath is born that way. A sociopath is made. Can be made. But a psychopath is also a sociopath.
So that's the only difference between the two.
I'm
I'm a little confused what a sociopath is.
I don't know what fucking sociopaths are. They're fucking crazy.
From what I know sociopaths will kind of they'll bully you into being their friend. You know, where it's kind of that thing where like a psychopath, I think, is a lot more hidden. Like it's just more the way that they think about themselves in relation to everybody else, and sometimes that can show. But you would want to be friends with a psychopath. I don't think you would really want to be friends with a sociopath, but they will make you be friends with them.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really scary.
That gave me more chills than your fucking slithered people outside.
Talking about the
The skinwalkers?
Yeah, that gave me a lot more chills.
that gave you more chills than that sound that we heard.
Oh wow.
Because
I won't
as
lie,
soon
bro,
as we
I-
heard the first sound, you were immediately turned to the camera. The second sound, I was like, okay, you know, I gotta go to it. I've never heard that sound before.
I never.
Never.
I was talking a lot of shit about punching a bear, but I heard that sound. I remember I sat there. I processed it in like 0.3 milliseconds, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
It turned
You know what
out.
it could have been though? It could have been like for real, like somebody looking for barefoot. Because this my dad watches these, Bigfoot, hunting shows, and that's the similar sound that they make. They just, howl.
It was a Bigfoot.
So, I mean,
I
it could have been a just random dude.
I see Bigfoot, bro. Shit.
Yeah, like Bigfoot.
I just scared you. So.
You guys think Bigfoot is real?
Listen, all the photos of him looks like there's a little bug on the camera.
They're all blurry as hell, just like UFOs.
I'm sorry. You're telling me Bigfoot's real when it looks like you have a smudge and you didn't clean the lens?
True.
No.
Yeah.
It's the 21st century, guys. Get a GoPro and film some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I can't say that I believe in Bigfoot either. I'm not convinced.
What about the Mothman?
Yeah,
There's
I think I believe
even
in that
less.
less.
I don't know what you're talking about. I heard of Bigfoot, not Mothman.
I think if there was a Mothman flying around, we would know. That is not going undetected at all.
Yeah.
What about spirits? Just like, all right, so there's this one time. I was sleeping. I'm not saying I don't believe in spirits. Here's my thing, folks.
We've all had weird experience we can't explain, so
Here's my thing, right?
we categorize that into.
I don't believe what is it? I don't believe. I don't not believe, right? All I know is that if any of these things are true, just don't fuck with me. I'm not gonna bother you. Just don't bother me.
Yeah.
This one time in the house, I was in the house in Dubuque, right?
Yeah.
I heard a big pow, pow, pow. And I was like, what the fuck was that? I went to
Were you
investigate.
home alone or?
Oh no, I was with people.
Mm-hmm.
It was like all the roommates were here.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? And we're like, yeah, what did you drop? I was like, what did you drop? And I was sitting there, I was like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
No. And I said, listen, if you are there,
Mm-hmm.
mind your business, I'll mind my business. Chill.
Chill.
Yeah.
Chill. That's kind of like my thought with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't want no smoke.
Have you had an experience, Christian?
I personally have not had an experience, but I
Yeah.
know people who have had an experience.
Yeah.
This is the story that they told me. So it was me, my mom, and then our landlord. And my mom was with my landlord. Like, it's kind of like a duplex. So they were over in my landlord's duplex area. And I forget what time it was. I want to say that they were having dinner or something, but I don't remember exactly. But anyway, they're eating, and they hear a door slam shut. Boom.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like, my mom goes, oh, what was that? And my landlord goes, oh, every time you, sorry, let me preface that.
Whoa.
Let me preface that. Her dad died in the house,
Okay.
some years back, right? So my mom says, oh, what was that? And the landlord goes, oh, that's my dad. Every time you hear a door slam, somebody dies, right? And fast forward, yeah, fuck that, first of all, yeah. I'm so glad I was able to this. Because I would have shit myself. I'm out. I'm moving out. Okay, so fast forward. Fast forward either a day or two. I think it was 2 days. My landlord owns another house in Naperville. Her neighbor died. So that's all I got. I can't say that I believe or don't believe. That's just a story that I heard, and my mom was there when that door slammed. So I wasn't there in the house. I was at work or something. I came back and she told me that.
I don't want to talk about demons anymore.
I mean, we're in the wrong place to be talking about this. I
I
personally don't have a story, but my mom does them. But
your mom has a story.
yeah.
But
my
mom.
I don't have to go into it because
skeptical about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sleeping up there with you guys. We're all in
Should I share my mom's UFO story too?
No.
No.
Up to you.
No.
I'll share it.
No.
All right. So if any of you guys have seen the videos of these UFOs at the Pentagon, no, actually none of the footage shows what I'm about to describe, but it's pretty common knowledge, or common lore, I should say, that the UFOs that we think are visiting Earth move in a sort of omnidirectional pattern. So they can go up, down, left, right, forward, back, blue, red, whatever. My mom, she was living off the coast of San Diego when she was young. I really want to get her on the podcast and have her tell the story, to be honest. But
we're doing an alien podcast.
That'd be dope. Maybe that should be our next topic.
No.
Anyway,
The supernatural.
Anyway, my mom was living off the coast of San Diego, and she used to live on a cliffside. Which, little side note, a lot of these videos that the Pentagon have been releasing off the coast of San Diego. Just a little connection that I'm making.
All aliens are off the coast of San Diego.
Maybe not all of them.
And also, aliens only visit America. They don't visit anywhere else besides America.
Anyway, my mom is living off the coast of San Diego. She lives on a cliffside, and she was telling me how, from where she lived, she could see the ocean, and she could also see the border, I think from Tijuana or something. So she used to watch people crossing over the border all the time, just to kind of give you an idea about where it was that she's living. She said one day she was out in her backyard doing something with her dog, and she watched something fly in the sky, right, and then stop. Then it came toward her, stopped, moved in another direction, stopped again, moved in a couple more directions, and eventually just flew off. And that lines up a lot with the stories that I personally hear about these UFOs. And
where do you find these UFO stories from?
You just come across them.
What
the interwebs.
Yeah, the deep, dark corners of the internet. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, if you go looking for it, you find it.
Yeah. I go look for anything, I'll find it.
Exactly.
If I don't find it, I'll make it.
Chances are it's already there, though.
I did say earlier that I 100% believe in UFOs. I actually can't say that. That was cap. I strongly lean towards them existing. I definitely believe that there's life on other planets. But if we've been visited, that's kind of a whole other question. I don't really know. I lean towards yes, we've been visited, but I can't say 100% no. And I was telling you guys this too. The one thing that would convince me is if we had some sort of mass sighting where a whole bunch of people whipped out their cameras and started filming what was in the sky. Then I would 100% agree, but I haven't seen that yet.
I want to be dead whenever that mass sighting happens. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
What if it's just like the Independence Day where it's a massive mother ship?
Why would I want that?
There actually is one on record called the Phoenix Lights. It was back in like the 80s, 70s, 60s, something like that.
Where?
In Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this was witnessed by, I think, around 1,000 people, and the mayor also came out and said that he saw it too.
Yeah, the mayor came out.
We could research it. It's a real sighting.
Okay.
What
does the government say?
I wonder how many sightings outside of the U.S. there are.
Don't listen to him. There's probably a lot.
The moment South Africa says.
Actually, there's one in Zimbabwe with a bunch of school children. There was some alien spaceship that landed outside of a school. Yeah, really? Landed.
Wow.
The aliens got out and stuff too.
See how happy he is?
Yeah, I swear.
You
bro.
see how happy he is?
Wait, did you see this video or?
There's no video, obviously.
No, there's no video of the aliens getting off the craft.
Oh, it's
but
just a story.
It's a story. But like all of the children who went to the school know this story, and then they also came back and interviewed a lot of these children from the school in Zimbabwe, and they still remember it happening. Why are you so skeptical?
I'm sorry. It's like these stories, like it's 100% true.
I didn't
but
say
there's
that.
no evidence to back it up whatsoever.
That was the
It's
evidence.
word of mouth.
They made a film on this.
What film?
I don't remember
Exactly.
the name of the film.
Exactly.
You can look it up. Look up Zimbabwe alien, and I guarantee you it would be the first thing that pops up.
It's just
You are such an opposition.
I'm not. I will be cool. Don't get me wrong. It will be cool. But like you're lumped in with all the flat Earth people at the same time.
What if I ever said the Earth is flat?
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. Again, folks, I'll be more shocked if it is wrong. that there's no aliens out there.
I'm just saying we haven't seen a curve. No, just kidding.
Oh.
The Earth is not flat.
Flat Earth
You
confirmed.
hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that?
Confirmed.
You hear that?
Yeah.
One Earth is shoes curved, and the world is round.
I think somebody believing in aliens is more realistic than somebody believing the Earth
It's
is
more
flat.
believable.
Yeah.
I will. It's just like these stories.
Yeah.
But there's footage. You've seen some of the footage from the
The
Pentagon.
footage is in 2 pixels. 2 pixels. The United States government can't afford a fucking
Oh my
GoPro.
God, here he goes.
That does not make any sense. You want me to believe in it?
Yeah.
Put a GoPro on a fucking F-16, then I'll believe it.
Why don't you share one of your controversial opinions? I'd like to hear it.
Ooh, what controversial opinion? do I
Yeah, what
have?
kind of conspiracy theory do you believe in?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really have
Nothing? No, there's no conspiracy theory?
Not really.
Nothing. You sure?
I don't know. I'm a pretty outlandish person. I feel like.
I feel like you have some, but you just can't think of it
Yeah.
at this moment.
No, maybe
There's some pretty wild conspiracy theories.
maybe
No, it's
I
pretty
guess it
wild.
would
That
probably
could-
it'll be
Oh,
like
that- yeah. Go ahead.
not a simulation, but the government's controlling us all.
That's
How
pretty-
so? Controlling us
I
all.
don't know. But it's like them looking at us through the laptops. I don't.
The
Okay,
Snowden thing.
okay. I understand that, but like every single person,
Well, my thing.
they have somebody employed to watch every single person.
My thing, right, is like I'm not
Oh.
doing anything too crazy anyway, so I don't really give a fuck.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Uncle Sam. I feel like I'm minus my. You might not be a model citizen. I don't want any business talking to the government. I don't really care.
Mhm.
But like, what if like the Truman Show or something's true? That would be kind of freaky.
That would be really freaky.
Yeah.
Right?
I meant to share this story earlier, but we got off topic. This is to this day the wildest thing I've ever heard. I remember I worked at a little bless you.
Bless you.
I worked at one of the discount stores. Bless you. I'll say which one. I worked at Dollar General for
When the
One-
fuck did you work at Dollar General?
I worked there for one day. It was when COVID happened. Yeah, I worked there for one day, and I'm gonna tell you why I worked there for one day. I got put on the shift with this guy. His name was Tom, right? And this is the first day. Number one, Tom starts talking to me, and he tells me about how he's a QAnon believer. Okay, so I'm like, all right. Then he starts going on and telling me about how a lot of people in government and in power they have a secret society where they sacrifice babies, take this part out of their brain, dip it in tea, drink it, and it gives them psychic powers.
Why is that more shocking?
You know what it is more?
That is a lot more shocking.
Why is that more shocking than Alien? I'm sorry.
That's wild.
The stories are the same. The stories are exactly the same.
Mind you, I'm putting Skittles in a customer's bag, listening to Tom.
The
Crazy
customer's
shit.
like, what the hell
Yeah.
is this guy talking about?
Bro, and he wouldn't stop. He just keeps going, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Tom, chill out, man.
You guys are probably part of the same Reddit page.
No, not at all. That's a step beyond.
You know what I
Part
actually
of-
might believe?
Oh.
Now that you brought up like celebrities with babies and shit like that, I might actually believe that, you know, like somehow, like some actors or celebrities, they just look like they are getting younger, kind of like J-Lo.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. They don't age at all.
Tom
I have
Cruise.
heard
Tom
that.
So
Cruise.
like, they will take the stem cells of babies and just do whatever science and shit they're gonna do, and then they just don't age. So,
Huh.
that's more. That I mean, I'm not saying I believe that, but it's
You wouldn't be
just-
shocked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
That's kind of trippy. I haven't heard that one
Yeah.
before. What about Scientology?
The fuck is Scientology?
The religion? The
Yeah.
Galactic Overlord Xenu?
Hmm?
No. Tom Cruise is a Scientologist.
What is that?
I don't even know how to
Can you
explain
explain?
that.
No.
I should not explain Scientology. I'm not gonna do that.
I always hear just people bringing up like something about Scientology. I'm
This-
just like, oh, I
you
never really looked it up, so it's,
There's a bunch of documentaries about it, but it's a religion that is. I shouldn't say is. Sounds like bullshit. The whole thing sounds like bullshit. You could Google it.
Probably is bullshit.
Probably is bullshit. There's a lot.
This whole religion thing is kind of complicated for me too. You have to believe. And, like, there's so many different things you could possibly believe in.
Yeah.
The only thing that's for sure is that we're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, who says, "Ooh, we're gonna go to this place called heaven"? And, like, Christianity is so based on fear,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
heaven or hell. Like, oh,
If you don't
shit.
believe, you're gonna go.
Give me the option. I'm sorry. I will believe that hell's an option.
Mhm.
You know, but still, like, why am I supposed to be scared of something that you don't even know that's gonna happen?
Right.
You're just rolling the fucking dice at this point.
I've seen jokes on different TV shows and stuff where it's like, what if you're wrong? Like, what if you believe in the wrong religion?
What if the people who, like, they say, like, if you go into a school and, like, shoot 20,000 people, you'll go to heaven? What if they're right? What if they're right? But no.
Yeah, like anarchists and stuff.
Yeah.
Or what are they, like Satanists?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're right?
Would Satanists even believe in a heaven?
I don't fucking
I
know.
don't know what Satanists believe, to be honest.
I'm just saying.
You know, punch Satan in the face.
Yeah. We hear a big knock on the door, and I'm like, shit. How much time are we at?
I think it's like an hour.
Hour
Yeah,
6.
hour 6.
Wow, I am ready to knock the fuck out.
All right,
It's almost midnight.
we out.
We out.
We out.
We out. Yo. It's
Oh my god,
you already know who it is.
They're
It's
wrapping up.
one girl on the mic.
he's not good either.
It's
I don't know why
midnight.
you keep doing this.
Was this every episode? Or is
Yes,
it recent?
It's
Yeah.
midnight.
Pretty much, yeah.
I ain't got no light. I'm pretty tired. It was a long flight. Good night.
Sorry.
Good night.
Shut it off.